You know, it's the tail end of the crappie season, and I'm the only boat on the river. I'm always surprised by how many people seem to give up on crappie fishing around the time that the fish spawn or just thereafter. Everybody seems to go in the early spring. But this time of year, I think what happens is people kind of lose track of where the fish are. This is the time of year that just about everything is spawning, and there's all kinds of little minnows and little fry in the water. The water temp's about 72 degrees. The crappies, when they're done spawning, a lot of times they'll actually move even shallower than where they spawned, and they'll feed up on all those little minnows. Now, we saw it at the boat ramp. As soon as I put the boat in today, I saw all these little minnows all over at the boat ramp in water this deep, and I knew the crappies would be right on their heels. There's one. Had me in the stuff for a minute. Good little keeper. Started to move shallower and shallower each spring, and I've been blown away by how many crappies during and after the spawn will stay in ultra shallow water. See, think about it. A predator fish and a minnow are in this much water or in this much water. In the shallower water, the predator fish has a better chance. Yes, but this is just kind of your standard little crappie tail on a 16th ounce jig head, and you can see I've just got it like 1.5 feet below this little float. I took a float and I cut it in half, and what I've made out of it is a popping cork, essentially. So what you can do is you can cast it out, and when it's on the surface, you just keep your rod low and just pop it. And that little popping sound almost always is what triggers the fish. Big long rod. This is a 12-foot long rod. Okay, but the whole reason I have such a big long rod is so I can just lob my bait out there, put it in the right spot, pop it once or twice, and lift it up and put it in another spot without ever using the reel. That makes for real efficient fishing, okay? There we go. Another decent one for the box. So you get a real long rod. This one, again, is 12 foot, but a you know, a 9 or a 10 foot. The Panfish series, St. Croix Panfish series works great. In any of the longer rods, allow you to pick and choose your way down through this shallow cover and catch the fish. There's a real easy way to determine if you're by fish. The first is you'll a lot of times see the minnows on the surface, or you'll see them when you pop your little cork around in there. You'll see them spray out. The second is sometimes you'll hear the fish popping them, and you'll see a lot of swirls and a lot of commotion from the fish themselves feeding on them. But also, don't forget, if you see a lot of birds, egrets or little herons or anything that eats fish on the shallow cover that you're thinking of fishing, make sure you go in there and fish, because they're either eating the minnows or the little panfish that are eating the minnows. So birds are always a good sign. That's a better one. So this time of year, after everything, during and after everything is spawning, if you're crappie fishing and you're losing track of the fish, go shallower yet. Get in real tight, lift the trolling motor real high, trim out the engine, and go real slow around the shallow cover. You'll be surprised what you'll catch.